transport, roads. So when I came here in 2018, the roads were fairly okay. There wasn't anything major about them, or they weren't quick or fast. They had bumps and lumps and holes and dusty and everything like that, and they're all paved. Now they've got this infrastructure program going on. The new coastal road at Davao Playa has been opened, very nice. Buchanan down towards Azuela Cove, there's a new coastal road there, but they haven't built the bridge over the Davao River at the moment, so they're both not connected. Sirawan to Bunwan, they're building a ring road north of Davao City, going through the tunnels up there that are being built by the Japanese. That looks absolutely phenomenal. It looks absolutely brilliant. So you've got the coastal road which runs along the coast and the Bay of Toril. You've got north of Davao, you've got another ring road that's going from the south to the north to around bypass Davao. The diversion road at Maha has a new flyover being built. They opened the tunnel in 2018 that's at Bohanging, and the road looks really good. Buses, infrastructure on electric buses is great, but they need more of them. The modernisation programme on jeepneys keeps stalling. Samuel Bridge in 2018 was being talked about. Now it's gone to court, and the signs have gone up down at Papunga and down at Azuela Cove that they're going to start the development of the connector road from Davao over to Davao del Norte, Alsama Island. So that's going to go ahead. Don't know how long it's going to take, or if there's going to be any more objections, but see what happens. Life is life, isn't it, really? Internet, well, that hasn't improved. That's got worse, in my opinion. And the internet connection speed is dire. The internet companies don't seem to want to turn around and improve it. The government and everybody's pushing for a cashless society, which means you need to use your credit card, your debit card. Well, if you haven't got good internet and you haven't got good connection, then you can't use Wi-Fi. So it's pointless, really, isn't it? Because internet and Wi-Fi needs to go hand in hand if you want a cashless society. Because how do you get your cash on a Wi-Fi machine that has poor internet service? It took me 35 minutes to pay a bill on Sunday at TGI Fridays and a Breezer. 35 minutes. Well done internet connection. It's garbage. It's better in 2018 than it is now. There are more people using Wi-Fi and there are more people taking out credit cards and debit cards from the banks, but they get frustrated because the only place it works is when you go to an ATM, and an ATM uses a hard line, so it doesn't use Wi-Fi. Anyway, so that's worse. What else was I going to turn around and say? Prices on food, they go up and down quite readily depending on what is the new fad. So the new fad at the moment is African swine flu, and they're banning pork. So all the pork importers are putting up the price of pork, which is justifiable because they're making money on the back of the commodity they're selling. You might not agree with it, but it's a fact of life. Rice, everybody was told that rice would be down around about 20 peso a kilo by the incoming government. That's not achieved. That's not come anywhere near. 48 is what I'm seeing at the moment, 56, which is still the same as when Duterte was in office and before him. I've always seen rice sitting around 38 to 48 peso a kilo. I've not seen it drop drastically. Education, I've just done that bit, but I still see lots of people are going to school, lots of people are turning around and attending school. The add-on things that I find quite strange about the schooling here is You have to pay for your paper, you have to pay for your books. There's this community PE, I call it, which means that you do some work for the community on a Saturday, and you also do physical education to make sure you're fit at school. But that comes as a charge. When you go for your exams, you have to pay the college to release a letter to turn around and say that you've completed all the syllabus and your scores are at the right level to turn around and take the exam with that governing body. Normally 900 peso. What else is going to turn around and say? Health here. I don't think it's moved on. It hasn't got any more expensive. I've got a friend at the moment that's in hospital. He's got to turn around and have some operational work done, and the prices they're talking about. So if you've got a private doctor and he'll do the operation, it's 70,000 peso for the operation. And if you turn around and got to do a recuperation, if you're at Premier Langen Hospital down behind here, it's going to cost you around 50,000 peso a day. If you're down at San Pedro, it's going to cost you about 26,000. If you're at Davao Dock, it's going to cost you about 50,000. That's just to have your room. You've still got to turn around. I don't know why they've got nurses in hospitals really, because they don't look after you when you're in your room. You have to bring a carer with you. So a family or a person, or you hire a carer, or you pay extra for the nurse to do the nursing jobs that she should be doing. Nursing care, well, yeah. You might disagree with me, but at the end of the day, I went into hospital, the nurses looked after me, the matrons looked after me, the doctors did the operation. I turned around and came out of hospital after 4 or 5 days, and that was it. I didn't have to pay anybody, I didn't have to pay anything, I didn't have to do. Here, you could be in hospital for 2 weeks because they're not interested in getting you out of the hospital. They're interested in running up the bill. That's how I see it. This guy's got to have an operation, but they can't make up their mind. Another example, Annie's brother went for a thyroid test back in August last year. He got the results, he went to the local public hospital, and he's still waiting. Yeah, still waiting. Still waiting. He's contacted the hospital maybe 10 times to find out when they're going to operate. It's malignant, it needs to be operated on, but there's always lots of other people, lots of other urgencies that are happening at a hospital. So the doctors in the public hospitals don't get around. Turns around and takes maybe a year or 2 years or anything. So two different points there. Yeah, I've offered to help. My help has been declined because I'm already helping somebody in the family called Annie with her education. So anyway, what else are we going to turn around and say? Brownouts and water shortages, that's got better, really got better. When I first came here, you could, when I lived at Capitayan, I could get 2 brownouts a month, 3 brownouts a month, and I could lose water twice a month. Now that doesn't happen. Okay, I'm closer in the city, but I'm not seeing that. Samuel Island still has a lot of brownouts, and it turns around and has a lot of water shortages. But people still love to go and move on to Samuel Island. Nice coffee. What else? Safety. Let's do safety. When I came here, it was all these red flags. Don't go here, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do. There are certain areas you have to be aware of, and you have to have your wits about you. But it's not as crazy as the Western world turns around and states. Yeah, you still got pickpockets, you've still got people that come up and want to turn around and take money from you, you've still got places you don't go at night unaccompanied. But that's the same in London. Would I go to Brixham in London on a Saturday night? No bloody way. Yeah, Would I turn around and go to some den of iniquity in the East End of London after 12 o'clock? No, I wouldn't. So it's horses for courses, and that's the thing. Yes, there are areas like Davao or Malawi or Cotabato, yeah, or up at El Kazan City that have military action going on. Well, I was in the UK in the 60s and the 70s, and we had the Irish through the IRA bombing places in Ireland, Southern Ireland and the UK. Is that any different? I could go to a pub in Guildford, I could walk out of that pub on a Saturday night, and 20 minutes later the whole thing disappears with the loss of life. So over the 6 years, great. I am not moving back to the UK. I enjoy it here. I enjoy my lifestyle here. I enjoy the quality of life I've got here. I enjoy the travel. I enjoy the sunshine. I enjoy the people. I enjoy the hospitality. The food is a little bit weird sometimes. However, I'm not going to starve. So 6 years living in the Philippines. An honest review. Like, share, subscribe. I did try this at Starbucks yesterday, but it came out all wrong. When I came in 2018, my visa was for 1 year. Now my visa's for 2, which is a bonus. Thank you. Life moves on. Remember, we have had lockdown and COVID and a shutdown of the whole world in that 2 years I've been here.